Let's talk about the offseason workouts now. Clyde Christensen told us, he got a chance to be around you, quarterback coach. He said, like, Jameis is the hardest working human, and obviously he's been around Peyton. He's been around a lot of people in the past. He said your work ethic is absurd. So then in the offseason, whenever we see these workouts that you're doing, is it literally just because you've gotten bored of doing all the other workouts? You're willing to try anything? What is your workout mentality? And whenever we see another video of something you're doing, how should we view it and think about it?
Well, my main mentality is to be position specific. And every time that I'm doing a quarterback drill and I'm working, I'm doing something that I can incorporate with being out there on the field. I go by the saying, me and my trainer talk about it all the time. Pressure is for the unprepared. Yeah. And when I first got in the offseason, it was like first got in the NFL. It was new to me because, NFL, we didn't work out as challenging as we were like in high school and in college. So I always would try to work as hard as I can and as efficiently as I can. And sometimes I would end up being out there 3, 4, 5, 6 hours just working, just grinding, trying to be the best, man. Like, I grew up loving Kobe, Derek Jeter. Like, these are people that spend numerous hours working and redefining who they are as a player. So I just tried to give it my best.
Yeah, well, I want to let you know, we appreciate everything you've given to the internet. Because, hey, some of those, when some are laid out to you, like, hey, here's the workout we're going to do, your immediate thought is, yes, it's going to get me better, or have you questioned some of them too? Has there been some that have gone out that you've been like, I know it looks weird, I thought the same thing, but then the benefits are a big deal? Because, like, in my head, I've just thought of like 10 things that you have done with, just so many different movements. Was there any that you were kind of doubting and then you reaped the benefits from that you never could have expected?
Oh, no. Like, the biggest thing about me is my faith. So I don't doubt a lot of stuff. When I go into it, I'm all in. I'm always there. I'm present. I'm in the now. So I don't doubt a lot of things. I just go and execute, man. I go and execute. But a lot of my quarterback drills that people may seem kind of weird are improvisational drills. Like, when you're in the pocket, right, in this drill right here, I am straining, like, in the pocket. Obviously, I'm not going to be in the pocket for 30 seconds. Well, but those D linemen, my trainer was an NFL D lineman for 6 years. He played for the Chargers, the Redskins, in the Miami Dolphins. So when I'm in that pocket and I'm working things, I'm trying to, obviously I could do 3-step drops and throw on rhythm all the time, but a big part of the game is being able to improvise and throw in a condensed pocket. So that's some things that I try to train.
Can't wait to see the next offseason. You know what I mean? Can't wait to see the next offseason, what you got going on. Let's move to your time now with the Cleveland Browns. And you said you're a man of great faith, and there's a lot of people that just assume you're going to be a preacher, a pastor whenever you're done, and probably have a massive congregation because the way you're able to put words together. You seemingly always up, always good vibes, inspiring, rallying. We've seen you give pregame speeches. The W eating one obviously made the most headwaves. This past weekend with the Cleveland Browns one, home run.
Yep.
I think an absolute home run. I think you would view that. Do you see yourself as a future preacher, pastor? And when you're speaking, do you feel it's like an obligation of Jameis Winston to like kind of lift the mood of everybody around you?
I just feel like I do whatever's required. Ultimately, like my biggest congregation right now is on Sunday when we out there playing and working together as a team, and millions of people get to see my light shine. Me and my boys saying this little light of mine every night before we go to sleep, man. So that's my prerogative. I'm a man of increase. I'm a man that's always trying to uplift, be optimistic, and encourage others. I think that's a big part of being a quarterback. And since I've been in this backup role that I've been in a few years, I've used that as just a platform to show guys like, hey, no matter what role you're in, you can still be uplifting. You can still lift your teammates up. You can still have that energy and come to work every day ready to go.
Speaking of that, for that reason, I think you've alluded to this a few times, and you kind of just did there. We feel like where you are right now with the Browns, in Deshaun Watson's quarterback room, with where they can get to, with how he can play and how the last couple years have been, you're like the perfect person to be the backup. Do you feel that as well? And is that one of the reasons why you wanted to join the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, absolutely. Every time we talk about, what has happened or what's going to be, I want to make sure that we recalibrate to what is going on right now. What is going on right now is Deshaun Watson is preparing to be a Super Bowl winning starting quarterback. And what we do from today is the only thing that matters. And today we have a joint practice against the Minnesota Vikings, so we're going to go out there and have the best practice of our lives. And I think that's what I bring into this room, of just letting him know, like, hey, man, all we got is today. Tomorrow is not promised. Yesterday is forgotten. So let's make sure we focus on being the best version of ourselves today, because we can look up at our stats and some of the things that we lack. But if we're not focused on how we can be the best version of ourselves today, then we're wasting time.
How's Deshaun Watson taking your messaging?
Man, it's so funny. Like, every time our coach asks a question for us, like, does anyone have anything to say? When we break down, he's like, 5? Like, he know I got something to say, because it's something I'm always going to keep instilling into him. Like, hey, man, we got to get better. We got to keep going. We got to keep being the best version of ourselves. And when he's the best version of himself, man, he's one of the best to ever do it.
I love that pressure is seemingly just getting taken completely off of his shoulder. Do you feel like that is the case? Like, you're there to make his life, I don't want to say easier, but also better in this whole thing?
Man, I'm here to do whatever's required. Man, he knows that to whom much is given, much is required, and he is obviously the franchise quarterback of this team, and he's looking forward to having a big year.
Hell yeah, we can't wait for that. Let's talk about a new person in town alongside you. Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, Jameis, obviously we've seen all the clips of you and Mike Vrabel racing up and down the field, and I would wonder, and I have to ask, who's winning the overall record between races, but how has it been working with Coach Vrabel, and what does he bring to the table? And do you guys, bounce pregame speeches off each other? Maybe, hey, what do you think the team needs today, or what is it like working with Vrabel?
It's been a privilege working with him, obviously, because of the Super Bowl caliber coach and player that he is, but just the wisdom that he possesses from being in one of the greatest dynasties that the NFL has ever seen, and coming off of being an NFL head coach, man, he's just hungry. He knows he's going to be an NFL head coach again, probably pretty soon. However, he's taking this thing by storm. Our races are sure competitiveness. We just going out there doing routes versus air. We're sprinting to the other side. We're setting the tone. That's one of the first things that we do before we get into our team periods, and we just set the tone. We let everybody know that, hey, we're here. We're here to show up and show out. And I just love the leader that he is. I love the little details that he's able to give to our team from a head coach's perspective and as a player's perspective.
On your mic'd up that was released, I think, by the Browns, you're standing next to him at one point during the game. So obviously you guys have a great relationship. And if we know anything about anybody, if they were able to be around you, I think they would choose to do so. I would like to be around Jameis Winston just because of the energy. But as soon as somebody catches the ball, he's like, get upfield. He's like coaching on the sideline.
Absolutely.
And he has, like, I don't want to say he has no pressure, but seemingly no pressure at all to be doing it. It feels like what Cleveland has is special. Now, Vrabel obviously knew you're new there, but their culture had to be pretty strong to welcome in two new people and for you guys to feel as comfortable as you are. Do you agree with that? Like, do you feel good about the culture that Stefanski and them have put together over there the last few years? And how about this year going into the season?
The leadership. Man, the leadership here is phenomenal. And it starts top down with our owner, Jimmy and D. Haslam, and it starts with our GM, Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski. Like, they are just doing an amazing job providing a supporting cast that is built for us to win. Like, everything here, like, this is the first place that I've been that has a player development department. Like, I am so blessed that we have people that are actually looking into how are we going to develop these players, how are we going to be the best version of ourselves every single day. And it's just so exciting just to see the people here. Obviously, you've been in Indianapolis, so you know the importance of having a fan culture that's so important. But when you walk in the building and people are happy to be at work because they get a chance to put on Browns gear, like, just the love for this football team in the city is amazing. And I experienced that, some in New Orleans, just all the support and all the love for football that they have. And this place is very similar, but to a point where, like, we're up north, like, all we have is football. All we have is the Browns. Obviously people say, oh, we got the Buckeyes too. But in terms of the NFL, all we have is the Cleveland Browns up here on this lake, and we're looking forward to making some hay. And it starts with the people that are in the leadership roles, showing that they will do whatever it takes for this team to be successful.